Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy and Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of How Random Is That? Now, this is a show that's dedicated and dependent upon you. What I mean by that is you, the viewer, will leave a comment at the end of each episode, and from there, I require a letter, a number, and a direction in which that I'll be counting from. So again, this whole show is dependent upon you, and I pull that book, and when I do, I will one tell you why I have that book, two tell you what I think of that book, and three tell you why I still have that book. Before I get to those choices and those picks, I want to acknowledge the chat that just filled up the room. Appreciate you guys being here. I greatly do. And again, as I made mention, without you, the show would be nothing. So first of all, I want to acknowledge the chat out by saying, dude, just met you. Bird the Bird, the Nerd, I appreciate you being here, and I hope you enjoy this interactive show that is really, again, as I may mention, solely dependent upon you, and you too, you lost Christus. Appreciate you being here, brother. And Christina, appreciate you being here, dancing with me. Appreciate you being here, dancing with me. Yo, Mike, how you be? I hope all is good, because you look well. Yeah. Trev, what's new? Hope all is well. Hope we got those books. Everyone out there? There is Two Gun. Appreciate you being here, brother, and your participation along with you, Christina. I got your requests in there. And who else we got here? Meet Wad. Appreciate you being here, brother. Yes, I got your requests in there too. Yes, I do. And everyone, again, I appreciate you not only being here, but participating in the show. Again, without you being, not participating, this show would be nothing. And what would this be? So, hey, starting off, we're going to say, hey, Jigs, Meatwad, Las Cruces, Christina, Two Gun Pedro, and Mad Respect. Thank you very much for your contribution in last week's comments, because that's what I have plucked out and drew upon the list that I have there. Now, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to work into, as you well know, the first comment ends up getting pushed down. So I'm going to start off with Mad Respect. Mad Respect gave us a comment the week before that I actually did not get a chance to get to, and I apologize. We had so much contribution that it pushed the show pretty late. So I'm going to start off again, as I made mention, with Mad Respects. His request was E12 from the back. I have that box right there. So let's start off by saying E12 from the back. So we're going to go all the way to the back. We're going to count from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, no way. Are you kidding? All right. Now, this is a book probably none of you have ever seen. All right. So this takes me way back. When I got back into comics, this pushes me all the way back into around 90. I end up meeting an individual. This individual, I have prepared today, brother. His name is Danny Mickey. He still does art today. He worked at a place called Jeffrey's Comics. It was the longest running comic book shop in LA, which unfortunately just recently closed New Year's of 2023. Not ending it there. Now, by meeting him, he and I were young, we're crazy, we're metalheads, we love music. This is the era, the time of all that heavy metal stuff, big hair, all that. But he was also really hardcore into art. Along with that, so were all his friends. So he was telling me how he just got pulled in because, or he was about to meet Rob Liefeld and was really anxious about it. And right after that discussion, he told me he just got pulled into the Extreme Studios group. And upon that, I ended up meeting all these guys. And when I mean all these guys, this is only a small fraction. And I actually have two of these, probably three of these books of the people that I met. Now, this tour book is signed by none less than, I think, 13 different signatures. And I mean, this thing is in just in a condition in which it preserves all the memories that I had. I have stories that would go on forever during this time period, but more than just this book and all the signatures associated with them. the memories that are associated with this are insane. And I'm sure I'd be doing nobody any favors by going over all of them. But this book, again, to go over the three, I got this book because of everyone that I was meeting at the time, and they were more and free and giving me as many as I wanted. So I did take a few. They signed them all. We had a great time. It was a time when, in an infantile stage of Image and all the studios and development, an understanding, misunderstanding of business, how things were going to go for all these individuals is something I would never trade for almost anything in my life. It would be very difficult to actually negotiate these memories for anything else, because holy shit, this was. So thank you again, mad respect, dude. This was your contribution to the show, and yeah, man, this was a time. This was a real freaking time. So I got one, shit, yeah, I do got three of those. So again, this is why I do this. I had the book because it was a great time in an era for memories, and I knew that going down the road. Number two, what I think of the book is it still to this day brings upon great memories of a time that I thoroughly enjoyed in my comic book collecting, and it was also a time period that I would say was really pinnacle in the way that we have our indies today. And you can arguably state that indie comic of Image is no longer such. It's actually, my opinion, would be considered part of the big three. Seriously. So again, and number three, why so I have that book? Well, I think it's kind of obvious. It's like, holy fuck. Those people will never get together like that again. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Thank you again. Mad respect for your contribution. Moving on to the next one, which is Two Gun Pedro. You have E37 from the back. See how it worked out? Ah. All right, but we got to do a call. All right, so we knew that was 12. So let's start from there, from the first book. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So was that 37 or 47? Holy shnikes. Come on, help me out. 37. I got you. No way. You're not going to believe this. All right. So this pull was actually serendipitous. So what I mean by that is Two Gun Pedro, who I've known quite a long time. My other sister channel that I have my son is called 1-2 Comic Talk. That was where I first met Two Gun. Let's say, we are short on now knowing each other. Two Gun, tell me if I'm wrong, if it's been around 4 years. So what I mean by that is for an individual to make this pull, and for now the name of my, my show, which, as you know, hey Cap, appreciate you being here. I'm Entropy in Comics. The comic that Two Gun requested was E37, counting from the back, which is the book Entropy as a comic. Now the odds of that are, I don't have to count, but what we're really talking about is probably about 140 to 1, which is a pretty cool pull, dude. Entropy in Comics. I only bought this. It's out of Heavy Metal Magazine, exclusive for the name. It was supposed to be a 6-issue mini that turned into, I think, a 1-issue mini, and never got to the second issue. I got 2 of the first. Maybe I did get to the second. Did it? Sure did not. Dang it. That's a bummer. Yeah, I was having high hopes for this thing. It started out okay. It was very unique in its storytelling, and it did follow the idea of an aspect of entropy. It really did suck and destroy it, chaotic, da-da-da-da-da. I thought it was intriguing. I really thought it was something that was unique and different. The fact that the funding got pulled and decided not to go ahead and publish because they didn't get enough, sales on the initial issue, which, I mean, come on, the art's kind of cool, right? I mean, tell me am I wrong? And again, you had Priest and Montos doing, as a team. It, in my opinion, was working. So I keeping it because, hey, it's entropy in comics. It's an entropy of a comic. It entropied as a comic. Oh my god. So I mean, when I thought the book was, I thought it was okay. When I recommend it, I wanted to get about 3 issues deep before I said, hey, look, this is something you might want to check out. It never had that opportunity. So who knows? Priest has made himself known as a writer, and he tends to team up with individuals that tend to convey the art that reflects the story. This did as such. I really do feel a little bitter, not pissed or anything, but the fact that it really couldn't pursue itself as a title. It would have been interesting to see what it did. Why do I keep it? Nostalgia as a title. I mean, I was really hoping that it would do something, and I couldn't see me getting rid of it. It would be an entropy of an entropy of an entropy. That would suck. I don't even think it's possible. So yeah, that's hey, again, to everybody, their contributions. Hey, thank you much. I want to move on, so I can go ahead and try to get everybody in there. And again, at the end of the show, I just ask that you leave in the comments a letter, a number, and the direction in which that I'll be counting from. Moving on from Two Gun Pedro, we're going to cruise over to Christina. Why? She gave us a pretty cool one. The one she gave last time was for her younger son, and was that just had a birthday. This one is for her older son, who is, I believe, looking forward to a birthday coming up soon also. So she asked for a 18 counting forward, because we're always moving, in the forward direction as far as life is concerned. Don't want to go the other way. Just, I don't know. I have no idea how that'll work out. There's 2 in that section of A. So I ask anybody, do we go A or A1? First person to type it in the comment, well, I'll go retrieve that box. So again, I need either just the letter A or the number 1 to be typed in the comments below, and I'll go get that box. I'll leave glasses. And I'll keep talking to myself until I interrupt. All right, so we got the letter A. Let's Christmas first. I've arrived at it. Letter A it is. So we're going 18, because I can have some memory sometime. And we're moving forward. So we go from the front. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12. 13, 17. Thank God we got past that one. 18. Okay, this I can show. Got a little nervous there for a bit. No. Yeah. This is okay. So there was a time period I was really buying a lot of the Cerebus stuff. And this is by no exception one of those books that I bought during that time. Also, as you can see, during the time which that I bought this was, a time that is going to be very difficult for many of us to ever forget. So I really, when I was buying these things, I really was buying it out of nostalgia. I remember when this stuff was coming out. I didn't jump on the train at the time. Very young. But I mean, yeah, I'm old, but yeah, help me out. So I really didn't buy a lot of that stuff at the time. So now I want to kind of jump on the time when everyone was buying a bunch of stuff too. During that, coronavirus time, and I wanted to check it out. I was digging this Cerebus stuff. And this was funny as hell. And what's interesting is you read the stuff like this. That's how they keep reading they write these. It's so bizarre and fun and unique. So I'm a Cerebus fan in some regard. That thing is like heavy full of it, and I'm sure glad it got past a couple of the really naughty looking ones. So that's what I got. So Christina, thank you for your contribution. To those of you out there this is not for everyone. So why I have it is during that time I was kind of buying some nostalgia, like many. The reason why I keep it, I am going probably to start filtering through some of my service books. It's another reason why I do the show. Not all of them do I really need. This one, it definitely means something. Yeah, we may not forget the time, but I still want some books that kind of reflect the era, if that means anything to you or if that makes any sense. So again, Christina, thank you for your contribution. This was awesome of a pull and a pick. And before I put this back, I want to acknowledge everybody again for being here. We got a two gun, we got a legend, and ain't you be? You definitely are. Yo, G, how you be? I appreciate you being here, brother. Seriously. And to Two Gun, who's still hanging out with us. Trev is still hanging out with us. Cap, appreciate you, brother. Everyone that's still here. And Christina, thank you for your contribution. Meatwad, I still hope you're hanging out. And Bird, the nerd, I still hope you're hanging out too and appreciating the show because without you guys, this is fun. Seriously, for me, it's really fun. You got me running around picking up all these books and checking them out because without you guys doing this, I mean, like Minning, I just end up throwing my book inside of a box and don't look at it again. This this is awesome. Thank you. All right, moving on. So, where I put that one away, let's see what we got next. We went through Mad Respect. Thank you much. Two Gun, you the man. And Christina, thank you for your contribution. I appreciate you and your son moving forward. Las Cruces, this one's for you. We got W18 counting from the front. I got 3 boxes in that category. I got the one that VW. I never put that 2 and 2 together. It's a cross between the two, obviously. UVW. Yeah. And then W and W1. So tell me which one you want. The cross of you want VW, W, or W1. First one to type it in wins. Fiona. Hey, Marshall Worthpath. Appreciate you being here, bro. And there's Spider. Look at you go, bro. We got a W1. You know, man. You're so quick on the fire, too. All right, let's do it. And for those of you who've never seen before, yes, this is my bed. And I purposely bought one that's just a frame and you just throw the mattress on top so you can fit 12 short boxes underneath. You just have your bed on a piece of board so you can slide them back and forth. A little tip for you. See, we're a community that works together. All right, W1 it is. You ready, Las Cruces? Let's do this thing. And your request was W18 from the front. It's coincidental. From the front. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, wow. All right. This is a book that many of you may not be familiar with. Now, as I made mention earlier, I used to do a show on a regular, on a channel on a regular called 1-2 Comic Talk. The show was actually called Artist Alley. It was an interview show that I developed with, well, initially I wanted to do an Artist Alley style show. And my first interview was with Christina Shin. So, right after that interview, and how well we hit it off is individuals just hanging out. We knew the same people, Sketchy Bug group. We hung out in the same groups. I just asked her, hey, would you want to be a co-host in this show? And it's like, almost like a 50-50 thing. She's like, absolutely. After some months of doing the show together, she started sharing with me some of her friends' stories. This was a story that was given to me by a friend of hers named, I can't remember his first name now. His last name is Nguyen. And she asked of me to read this. I received the first 2 issues digitally only. And I thought I would never see anything of this or the ending to this book again. 6 or 7 months, no, like 8 months later, I ended up seeing the solicits for it. And previews through Dark Horse, which just amazed me. I know that was a long setup, but this book is called White Savior. Now, you might be thinking, how dare you? No, it's it's not what the story is some like this white guy, this English, I think he's actually Scottish, ends up in Japan, and he supposedly there's this story of this white guy saving this village from invaders. The story is BS and actually sets up for the whole town to be slaughtered. The guy's a buffoon. He's an idiot. So they falsely follow this guy. This story is one of the most tongue-in-cheek, brilliantly written stories by Nguyen that I've read by anybody. The whole time you're laughing, never does it take itself seriously. There is a point. It does get rather poignant. It's fun. You're on a nice, brilliantly written journey by a guy who, again, never takes himself seriously, which allows you to not take it over seriously or overanalyze a story that is meant to just have fun. So as racist as it comes across initially, it's far from it, and it's funny as hell. And they even talk about aspects of that just to go ahead and point out how not it doesn't center around that at all. And the more times than not, you're laughing more than you are being insulted. So I highly recommend this book by a guy who desperately needs your attention and something to continue his art because he's funny. This guy's funny. So to start, why I have this book is I never really thought it would ever see the light of day as a hardcover. White Savior is a must. What I think of the book is it's funny as hell. I highly recommend this to anybody that doesn't take themselves too seriously and is looking for a fun read. And the reason why I keep this book for number 3 is, are you kidding me? This is one of those things I almost want to die with. It's awesome. So, hey, thank you again, Las Cruces, for your contribution. White Savior is freaking awesome. Moving out from Las Cruces' recommendation of pulling that book, we're going to cruise over to Meatwad, which is giving us I-11, counting from the back. I have 2 boxes in that category. I need either a number 1 or a number 2 from you, the participating audience. And thank you again, Las Cruces. This was an awesome pull. All right, setting up. We got 2 2s. We got the 2 2s. We got the 2 2s. All right, let's get the 2 2s. All right, in that secondary category, it's a split between I and J. There's not a whole lot of I's, I just kind of throw them mostly. I separate Hulks into Hulk and Incredibles, and depending if it's old and new, is kind of. I'm just saying. It's hard to categorize everything always. And it was a 11 back. All right, so we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Yeah. Okay. Forgive me. Okay, here we go. Now, I love horror. I love gore. I think more than that, suspense is really what gets me. And as you can kind of tell when I speak about certain books and certain titles, I also speak with a certain, I would think, tone of nostalgia. A lot, I think, what I buy is not only things that are a part of my past, but things that, even though I'm looking forward to, has anchored itself from aspects of my past. There's tethers. So even though I'm looking at certain future titles, certain things are still tethered to my past. Now, I've worked with the Muppets, Jim Henson, and that type of group. I'm in the entertainment industry, if you don't know, and those of you may be tuning in new. And I've been fortunate enough to work with the Muppets around 4 times now. So when I found that Jim Henson titles were out there and they were doing these things um, through this publishing company, I'm not quite certain how to pronounce it, Archaea or Archaea. I was enthralled. So I couldn't help myself but to buy all these things. And I really fell in love with these titles. They're hit and miss. They're their own individual stories. I guess they've been going on for quite some time. I had no idea. I fell in love with these things as they come out, and they don't seem like they come out as often. During the time period of COVID, it seemed like these things were always out. So it seemed like from 2000, I don't know, 18 all the way up until around 22, you can find these Jim Henson stories. And I just thoroughly love them. Why? There's a lot of suspense in a lot of these type of titles. They're not really showing you necessarily what's going on. No one's getting ripped apart. No one's really seeing any blood, but the story is usually told in the way that, like Hitchcock style stuff, it hints at all the stuff that you need to utilize to put together and create your own horror. I like that. And that's what, in my opinion, Jim Henson has always done. And I believe that this really captures those type of stories. So again, why I have this is it tethered itself back to the nostalgia of your working with these guys, knowing what these titles are and the stories that they tell. What I think of these books is I believe that everyone, with a kid could read these things, much like your Nick style, stories. So they're almost all of them are all ages. And why I still have them is there's still good stories. I can still reread them, and I'm sure may remember most. But at the same point, it's still I guess good, allows me to enjoy the ether of both nostalgia and presence, and just good storytelling, and more times than not, great art. Seriously. So hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Meatwad for giving us I-11 and for the contribution of telling us what number to pick. We got one more that's coming from Jigs. I've yet to see him in here. And hey, Barry, I appreciate you being here. And I need you to throw that in the comments at the end. Or I don't know. Maybe I might have an opportunity to get one. I know you're hinting. I know which one you're looking for too. I think so. The only thing I don't have is Q. I finally got rid of my Quest books. Just saying. And actually, yeah. No, I just saying. I never knew something in the dark associated with it. They always kind of hint that way. You know what I mean? Those Dark Crystal stories and all that. They just enough. Very suspensey more times than not, in my opinion. They write so well. All right, one last one. I know I'm and I do believe I have more in that category too. Oh, yes. We have 4 in the category in the V section. I'm a huge Venom fan. Symbiote slut and a half, just telling you. So I'm going to need from you a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And I'll put this away. Appreciate you guys. Oh, we got Barbarian. Dude, I didn't even see you in here before. Barbarian, thank you for your contribution. So we're going to V4, which is, so I have a UV, which is 1, a V, which 1, and then a V2 and a V3. So the 4th box with the V section, I said a V section, is box V3. All right. And Jigs asked for 13 from the bat. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Be that guy right there. All right. This started it all. Kirkman hinted, he teased, and what he gave, in my opinion, is something everyone's been pleased. Void Rivals started off a whole new genre, a whole new Energon universe. This brought us a Transformers we've never seen before. The Transformers where they just squish humans and call them little squishies. A G.I. Joe where Duke is fully on the run being chased by his brethren for trying to do the right thing. A Cobra Commander that is redefined how we see this almost silly and campy character into something that's sinister, smart, scientific. Void Rivals has given us a whole new universe for a whole new era. In my opinion, this universe is one of the best things to come out from Kirkman in years. We've got The Walking Dead, but this allows many more to expand beyond anything The Walking Dead could have ever done. This is near infinite when you talk about all the titles and all the past and the present that they can go to. This is awesome. So again, Jigs, thank you for contribution. This is a 1 in 10 variant that looks into the stars for hope, for a whole new universe that's being brought to us by Robert Kirkman and all his co-creators and minds of like. And I just, this is a very awesome way to end the show. So again, why I bought this book is this is exactly what I was hoping for to come out of this universe. This was an awesome start to something that I am compulsively reading. What I think of this book is it was a perfect setup to what I believe to be so far a great beginning to something that I couldn't have ever imagined coming out of this universe. And why I still have it is I think I can't say any more than what I said before in the description of this title. I think that fully encapsulates why I still have this book. And I'm going to keep buying all these stories associated with this universe because I think it's one of the most brilliantly written universes in quite some time. And hey, for all of you that have been here, Marshall Warpath, I appreciate you. G-Man, Two Gun, for your contribution. Awesome. And I appreciate you. Jigs, I appreciate you, your contribution. And Barbarian, you the man. I appreciate you, brother. Seriously. John, Perry, Cap, all you guys. Air Spider, you the man. Trev, everyone that gave us a contribution as far as Christina, Two Gun, Mad Respect, Las Cruces, Meatwad, Jigs, those of you who couldn't be here, those of you who caught me on the rewind, those of you that have made a contribution, even after this, Hack, I appreciate you being here. I can't thank you enough. And that's it from me. Entropy. Stay well.